So I just wanted to tell a story about from the culture of meaning. There you go, the County Road Crew. This was just to give you an idea of one way of working with a group. And there was a county, I talked to management and got a chance to work with a county group. And there, I asked them to pick an impossible to solve problem, something that they knew they couldn't solve. And they chose the issue of full-time flaggers. In other words, they assumed the guys that hold the flag and say go ahead. They wanted full-time ones because the county didn't have to pay any health insurance because they only had part-time. So anyway, I used the 4 charts and dynamically facilitating them. And just to make a long story short, what they came up with was this realization that this is stupid not having full-time flaggers. They should have at least 2 full-time flaggers. They had that kind of that mind shift where they got it. Oh my God. So then they paraded into the county commissioner's office. They figured out how they were going to sell this. And they went into the county commissioner meeting on the Monday morning when they walked in masse and presented this idea. And the county commissioners had no option. The county commissioners just gave up and said, okay, look. And in fact, they gave up on the whole idea of micromanaging. So that road crew transformed the management system of the county. It was way fun. So, okay. And to tell you, these guys still talk about it today. This was a long time ago. But this is what I was talking about before. There's 2 kinds of thinking and talking in groups. And there's this world that we're familiar with of trying to get better decisions. And a lot of that is problem solving, dialogue, do dialogue before to build trust and brainstorming and deliberation and discussion and problem solving. All that stuff fits inside the box. It's all about leading up to decision making. We're going to make the decision. And there's another kind of thinking out there in the world, and we all know it in our lives. We do it often, and that's where we're just kind of stewing around, but we're creative and we're open to everybody, and all of a sudden we look at one another and we go, holy smoke, we know what to do. And I've got lots of stories to tell about that, but it's hard to get to that space without the stepping back, facing some monster issue. And what I do in dynamic facilitation basically is help people keep their feelings in the room, keep their feelings there, rather than, because when we do decision making, we try and push the feelings away. This is about holding them. So when you say to somebody, that's a stupid idea, I go, oh, so you have a concern. Talk to me. I'll write this concern down. Great. Now, what did you have an idea behind that? Good. Could you finish what you're talking? In other words, the whole point is that whatever comes up in you, we're going to hold it. We're going to keep it, and we're going to help everybody be that way. So, anyway, so this is choice creating is a creative act. Thank you. And in this case, we've got the feelings involved, the ideas. Just all this stuff is just kind of stewing around, and then we just kind of all know. We never got to judgment. We didn't do it. And that's the secret, is that judgment and creativity, I don't know, I'm sure you know, if judgment's in the room, there's no creativity. So if you're going to do the decision-making model, you're going to drive that creative thought process away. So, and then dynamic, I just made that point, dynamic facilitation can reliably evoke choice creating, and it's really about what we're doing is changing the nature of people, where you're not a moderator or a mediator anymore, or you're not a facilitator taking people through the steps. You are basically a reflective device. You're helping people just stew in their own feelings and ideas and whatever until things get clear. And so we don't have agendas on the wall. We don't have a step-by-step process. We don't define the problem first. We just go with the energy. And I'm saying what I've noticed over and over again is that if you can establish, not 97% of the time, okay, do the normal stuff. But just 2.5% of the time, step back, be in that choice creating place where we all step back. It's like a retreat. You figure out what problem, what's our biggest problem, and let's work on it in this creative way. And it's a different kind of collaboration. To me, it's important to draw this distinction between these different kinds of thinking modes in our minds and hearts. As the arc of history, the arc of development of consciousness has been more and more to pull the feelings away, get more objective, get more neutral, try and be more rational, try and prepare yourself, try and keep it all managed. And what I'm saying is this is actually going back to the basics, where it's more like tribal folks sitting around the campfire and figuring out what we all need. And the only thing that works is if we're all in unity. I don't use the word unanimous, we're all in unity. And then I was going to tell you one more story. A farm credit bank, don't have any good pictures of it, but this farm credit bank was meeting, and I talked them into a wisdom council, okay? So that means we randomly select from the bank. I think we just had like 6 or 7 people, just a small number. And the first wisdom council basically presented, how many 3 minutes? Yeah. So they presented, came back, and the whole bank was assembled, and they had people on the phones to all the branch locations and everything. And their presentation was, we are not a forward-thinking organization. That's basically what they said. And they were saying, of course we advertise we are, we're advertised as a leader, blah, 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 but no, we're not a forward-thinking organization. And they had some ideas, whatever, but then I came back, I flew back down for the next Wisdom Council. They had a different random group, and this new random group sat around the table, and somebody said, anything happened from that last time? And of course I had an ugly silence, I'm just waiting, And it turned out that every person spoke and basically said, yeah, it totally transformed our group. We know that the strategy meeting, we were in there, but the strategy meeting focused on being forward thinking, what kind of thing we're doing. And each group had a meeting, and in other words, everybody around the table had some story to tell about what had happened since the last time. And none of them, of course, were in the first Wisdom Council, but they were impacted by it and didn't know it for the longest ugly moment that I had to sit through when everybody was trying to think if something had happened. So that was it. One more slide, I think. Yeah, so to me the key is to just set up these moments, and this is life. We're talking life here, where you step back and you think, or you meditate, or you kind of do a different thinking process, you figure things out. And in the small groups, you can do it, and you can do it in the Wisdom Council, you can do it in your personal life. And the people face the most important issues in the spirit of choice creating versus decision making, and rise to the occasion and achieve unity through shifts and breakthroughs. See, progress happens in choice creating through shifts, breakthroughs, where you're just kind of in chaos, and then all of a sudden everybody kind of knows what to do. And then it's important to help people celebrate the vital difference. Once they do this, they forget. They don't realize they did something wrong. You have to help them, otherwise they'll just let it go. Thanks.
Thank you. Panel, questions for panelists?